Boom! What's up? Here we have today on my podcast number 4, we have Cristian Stacey from Peru, a good friend of mine, and also a guy from Agency Velocity that lives in Colombia. Yeah, Cristian, welcome to the podcast. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. I really appreciate it. Yeah, well, I'm actually originally from England. My mum's from Thailand. Grew up in France. Traveled around a little bit, a bit like yourself, mate.
Mhm.
Uh, not 178, but quite a far off actually. And traveling around, realized that I wanted to do something where I can work remotely. I used to work in sales before,
Mhm.
and working remotely, I kind of just needed something where I was able to generate leads, generate some revenue, and work from where I'm located, not be fixed in one specific location.
Mhm.
So yeah, doing sales, obviously, the front end of sales, you need marketing, you need a way to get leads. I started, I started doing lead gen, cold email back in the, oh man, what's his name? Alex Berman. When you had Mailshake and you had
Yeah,
one
yeah,
inbox.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I had one inbox, and every new inbox they charge you an extra like $12 or $30 for an extra inbox, something like this. Back in those days, but yeah, and then ever since then I've been working in email list management. So Troy Erickson, you've probably heard of Troy Erickson. He's
Yeah.
like one of the top guys in that field.
Uh-huh.
And then lead gen there was a huge demand for it. A lot of people in business are asking for leads and a way to generate leads, and especially cold email as well. That a lot of people saw value in it. So back at cold email, back at lead gen. Apart from that, I spend a lot of time training martial arts, boxing, jujitsu, running around, lifting weights sometimes, all the good fun stuff just to keep you alive. Because, spending hours sat in front of a computer, you need a way to get all that energy out, and burn the calories. So I can give myself the excuse to eat the burger. So yeah, and here we are, part of Agency Velocity for like 2 months now, something like that. Did the
Okay.
marathon, met with you guys. It was good fun. There we go.
Crazy. It's only 2 months that you're in. It feels so much longer. Yeah, I know you. This is
I, I was I was part of the incubator. I was part of the incubator program. So I know
okay.
you from before then. And then I joined AV.
Ah, right. Okay. So you also went quite quick up, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
I was like, you know what? I need that environment of being around people, you know, a lot closer to agency owners, and
mm-hmm.
and AV seemed like a good step for me to do that. So that's why I joined, really, for the
Mm-hmm.
environment kind of thing as well, and the support as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, how do you enjoy to be around like-minded people with agency velocity?
It's great because you know what, especially at the live events, you get that sense of kind of competition. And I'm quite a competitive guy, and I like to see people doing well because it inspires me to go, well, they're doing really fucking well, and how are they doing that? Can I do the same? I can do
Mm-hmm.
the same. Let's look into that kind of thing. And I think that's that you you are the product of the people that you surround yourself with, right? So if you're
Absolutely.
surrounding yourself with the killers that there are in AV, you're obviously going to level up, aren't you? You have to level up. You
Mm-hmm.
have to level up. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I find that was a very big source of inspiration for me. It's a big source of motivation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Motivation comes and goes, as you're aware, mate.
Yeah.
Um, but if you've got people that are at it every day, and in the group, there are always people that are at it fucking every day. It is
Mm-hmm.
just, you've got no excuse
Mm-hmm.
to slack. So,
Mm-hmm.
you keep yourself up there. And especially the live events. I really like just meeting people, being in that environment, being surrounded by
Mm-hmm.
people. Doing the challenge was really good. The marathon, having
Mm-hmm.
a goal, finishing it together, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Like I just like would love to know because I remember for me it was so impressive. Like, can you a little bit describe what was like the first feelings that you got when you met the people in real life, like and you saw them like the first time, you know what I mean? Because you just know them online, and then the first time you meet them, like what happened in there inside you, like when this.
It's very interesting because you go, oh shit, this is what you look like in real life. You're used to seeing people on a screen like this. You go, you're taller than I expected. Oh, you're shorter than I expected. It's shit like that. But also on another level, you kind of, because you've spent time with each other in classes or online or whatever, and you've also got some kind of mental affinity. You're all kind of very much similarly like-minded. You get on straight away. There's none of the there's none of the awkwardness that you get if you meet just somebody random, like in the street kind of thing, or new for the first time. Because you seem to have very similar goals and a mindset that's kind of aligned in a way, even though you may be doing different things in your lives, right? You may be living in different areas or wherever. There is a certain ease of getting to know these, getting to meet these people. It's easy, it's almost effortless in a way. And it's very comforting to know that, these people are fucking the killers, but they're really just cool people as well. They're not assholes. Like you're always told when you're growing up, oh, you need to, if you make money, you're an asshole, or you're, so much hate against money, so much hate against people with money.
Yes.
And then you actually realize you've got these guys that are pulling in 30, 40, 50, sometimes 100K, and you're going like, mate, these are just really cool guys. They're just really cool people. They're not assholes. They're really nice people. They tip the waiter, they buy everyone drinks, or, they're just really nice people in general. So yeah, it was really easy meeting people from AV. And, I'm looking forward to our next challenge. The one that you're pushing or whatever.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro is definitely going to happen. I spoke with Levi and Rob about it, so this is definitely happening, and I'm super excited about that one, bro.
Yeah, they seem on board about it. Like they seem on board about this whole idea,
Yeah, I mean, this is also the amazing thing about Agency Velocity, because you have like two guys, Rob and Levi, for me, for example, they are the main reason why AV is like AV is, right? I mean, but they're both very intelligent people, super smart. But like they make easy 300K. I don't know how much they do, but like easy, right? And they are so humble, so humble. Like Levi always wants to learn. Like he comes to my mindset calls to learn from me and stuff like this, and it's amazing, right? So like they form it, and I'm also, thanks God, I'm also part of forming this thing, right? Because like with what I do with my mindset calls. And I believe also a lot of people say that just like they learn the most from these calls, because it's just, I think it's like, it's not me, right? I don't want to go to say this is me. This is us growing together. This is us having conversations about really important things in life, right? Like this is like us really growing together as a whole, right? I'm basically leading the conversations, but it's really us. Like the funny thing is, me personally, every time when I do a call, I get a nugget out of it. Like I learn from every call myself. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And like to be a part that I am helping to create this amazing community, tribe, whatever you want to call it, cult, right? That's just something that is the most fulfilling thing for me in my life. Like I wear AV clothes the whole day just because I love to be in that stuff. I identify myself so much with it. And I remember the first time when I met, because that's why I was so interested in your experience. The first time when I came to Tallinn, I remember I had this feeling that I was just like home, like family, bro. Like I came there, I was like, they're like me. Like I finally found my people. You know what I mean, right? I always felt a little bit. Sorry?
No, I understand that. It's like you find people like you, right? And
yeah,
I'm glad that you added yourself into that, because your mindset calls are definitely, there is a certain energy that you give off, right? And it's not just because I'm speaking to you that I'm saying this, but I'd say this to anybody. But the thing is that you have a certain energy that you inject. And when it comes to business and sales and anything that's hard, that demands a challenge, the biggest thing that is mindset.
Yeah.
Like even in like high level athletes, like if you look at like the top level guys in the UFC, for example, make their mindset is absolutely on point. Their mindset is, and that's what does it. And so for you to have these calls, that is what provides the real foundation of mindset, which you should always begin with in the first place.
Yes.
Because you can learn the skills.
Yeah.
You know, you can learn the skills, and generally, let's say, you know, if you're in the UFC, for example, everyone knows how to do a takedown, everyone knows how to punch, everyone knows how to kick, everyone knows how to do all the skill stuff.
Yeah.
But what brings it together is the mindset, and that is what is the base that when things aren't going right, which they won't go right, that is what carries you through, right?
Yeah.
So thank you to you and your fucking mindset to keep, and your energy to keep, you know, everybody together. You're like the glue in this, you know, and we need that glue kind of thing to keep it all going, you know?
Yeah, I love that, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Like, this is really the things that make me so happy, right? Like, I mean, when people always say, like, what makes you really happy? Like, for me personally, what makes me happy is exactly these kind of things, to help other people to grow, right? Like, this is so, like, this gives me so much, it fulfills my heart with so much gratitude, you know, that I can be like a part, because you're all much younger than me as well, right? It's like I'm also, I think, the oldest, right? So like, and like to basically help you all grow, that's like the most beautiful thing in my life, honestly.
Daddy Johannes, right?
I
Daddy Johannes.
yeah, thank you for that one. I like that, but that's why when I go out with Elliot in Marbella, I was like, right, could be my fucking son in it. Bro, Elliot is half of my age. I mean, he's 21, I'm like 43.
Yeah, mate, that's crazy.
The only
That's
thing that,
mental.
the only thing that if it would be Elliot would be my son, then I wouldn't need to have like a Swedish mother for this, because obviously couldn't be that blonde, right?
Yeah. He's pretty blonde,
Super
isn't he?
blonde. No, there's no way. All right. Yeah, cool, man. A really great topic here. So like, I mean, obviously, like I'm the same like you. I'd say like business is 80% mindset, 20% skills. Because if you have the mindset, you can learn fucking everything. If you say to myself tomorrow, if I would say like I want to be a fucking amazing bachata dancer, for example, and I would learn every day bachata, I would do competitions. You know, it's definitely possible. I will be 100% not the best, but I will be for sure like maybe in the midfield or something like this, because I'm quite sporty or whatever. So maybe not, but you know, but you can really learn it. Like, I don't know if you know, who is it? Tim Ferriss writes about it, I think, right? In the 4 Hour Week. Yeah, right. Where he basically says like he became this Latin dancer, but just because like I want to do that, I want to just do that. Why he won this, what was it, Kung Fu or whatever?
Tango.
Huh?
He was tango, wasn't he? He became
Tango, yeah.
he was in Argentina or something like this. That
Exactly.
well, the thing is with Tim Ferriss, what he does, he breaks down the skill, right? He works massively on the skill and how to learn and acquire skills. That is his thing. You know, he's very good at breaking stuff down.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to break, and he gets close to, again, it's also environment, because he also learns from the best people. Like he goes and speaks to the best people. You know, how do you do this or how do you do that? That's kind of like, that's his go-to in a way. That's when he says how to learn a skill, one part of that is finding out from the best or speaking to like the best people or people who are really, really good. So he puts himself in that environment to be able to learn very, very, very quickly. But also, if you're when we're talking about mindset, when you look at a lot of the, you know, most business or entrepreneurial kind of videos on how to do this or how to do that, most of it is mindset. Most of it is, mindset is so broad as well. It's a way of doing things and a way of being, right? It's the little habits that you have and little habits that you know that make you do everything that you do, right? You know, how you do anything is how you do everything, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so when you watch the, you know, you type in videos how to sell better, it's not necessarily just the skill, it's how can you be better? It's how you become a better person or have better salesperson or a better business owner or a better cold email or a better whatever. That is the mindset aspect. When we say mindset, that's how I see it anyway. Is who you become and how you tie your identity in with it as well. You know.
I love it. That is great, man. Okay. Basically, you said you started with Mailshake, right? Like, like you said, one email. How much? One account? How much emails did you burst like a day with one account?
Mate, I was sending. Oh God, I can't remember. I was doing, at one point, I was sending 100 a day with one account. Because I got told, I listened quite closely to Alex Berman. He said, don't go very high, don't go high. But I was like, okay, I'm going to keep putting this up from 50 to 60, 70, let's see if we get it. Okay, I got it to 100.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I've actually never burned. I don't think I burned that account, but I kind of dropped it back because I ended the contract with the client and stuff like that. But I had, Mailshake. There was another one, Mail Stand. I don't know if you know Mail Stand. Similar kind of thing, not as good, but it's like the cheap version for like the clients who didn't want to pay extra. They didn't want to pay for the Mailshake. Okay, well, I have something else that I could put you on. It's Mail Stand. It's a lot cheaper.
Cool.
No, I didn't say it that way. I said something that's a bit more in your budget. That would work. You would do a similar kind of job. And then when Instantly came around with the rotating inboxes, mate, kill me. That was mental. That was just a game changer. And you could just hook up multiple inboxes. And then I was doing, 50 a day, multiple inboxes, and I was setting up, at one point I was setting up like 10 inboxes on a domain kind of thing. Cause I didn't know any better. I was like 10 inboxes on the domain. Is this how you do it? So yeah, now you learn a bit better now, everything, obviously with deliverability and stuff like that, you got to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like, honestly, in the old times, everything was kamikaze. I remember I just ran all catch all. I just didn't give a fuck about deliverability whatsoever, bro. Like,
I think you went harder on it. I think you went pretty hard on it, right?
Yeah.
Some guys went absolutely fucking ham on this and just went, let's just send as many emails as we can. You're one of those people, right?
I was completely ramming. And I remember I never cared about deliverability whatsoever until one day it was with, I think it was now with fucking MailForge, right? Where basically just everything burned down completely, like in a day. Like I woke up and nothing worked anymore. And I was like, fuck me. That was really shocking for me. And now, obviously, since then, this was the first time that I looked into it. And interesting, like especially it's exactly in the same time I met this guy, like Ton, my business partner, over when he was over with the CEO of Cialdini. And I met him there, and I showed him cold email. So he was just basically setting up domains for his clients. But he never really did cold email. So I showed it and he was really fascinated about it. So he started to basically offer it to his clients. And in a short time, he had like 15 clients. And then when the big crisis came, he said, like, you know what? I'm going to build a solution for that, right? And like I said, he has company for 20 years for domain. So that's why he's a G. And I do believe, like, for the big problem that we have now with deliverability is we need an adaptive solution because there's coming something new and there's coming always some new changes. And it's the cool thing on him because he always knows the stuff, what is going on, and adapts the solution. Like since we started, we had already 3 upgrades, he's upgrading it all the time, but it's actually super fire. So I really hope that this is giving the space a solution for the thing that's happening right now. That would you say, like, what, like, if you think about it, like, how did the space change from the time when you started? Like, when did you start? When was the Mailshake time?
Yeah, that was like, oh man, I can't remember what that was. That was must have been 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
When you could just send out a cold email, and it could be the shittiest cold email, and you'd get a reply, and you'd book meetings, right?
Yeah. The Wild West.
Funny enough, a lot of people that I reached out to, because I was reaching out using cold email for copywriting. I was doing copywriting at the time.
Yeah.
They wanted cold email. They were like, we want to do what you're doing right now, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, great. Right. But that must have been like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's very important now that what's happening is that everyone's flooded into cold email. Everyone started doing, let's just set up cold email.
Yeah.
And I can remember having conversations with guys that were saying, we want you to write cold emails for us. I'll write them a cold email based on their offer and whatever. And it would be something that would be along the lines of short, impactful, straight to the point, but also conversational. And then I give it back to the guy, and then he'd be like, no, mate, we don't want that. We want something like this. And they'd written a fucking cold email like that. And I know for a certain what they were going to do is they were ramming this to, I don't know, their list was, I think it was 600,000 contacts.
Wow.
Something disgusting. It was a disgusting. And they were going to send this out. And I don't know the results of this. I don't know how it went on.
It would be interesting, right?
but obviously these kind of things don't work. So everyone's noticed that cold email works well, because you can get your message, you can bypass gatekeepers, you can get your offer straight in front of people who matter. Yeah. And then everyone started doing that. And now eventually it gets to a point where, well, fucking hell, everyone's doing it. And now people, Outlook, Gmail, they're all kind of going, we've had enough of this kind of thing. Let's stop doing this. Let's put in some roadblocks to stop these people. Exactly. Gradually, what it's going to do, it's going to chuck out people who are not keeping up to date. They think that they're doing the same old thing and just sending cold emails. Yeah. It's going to gradually get rid of those. And with the whole Outlook stuff, that's going to wipe out a load of people. Yeah. They're going to realize, well, this isn't working anymore. Let's do something else. Yeah. And what's going to happen is those that are actually staying adapted, like your friend, or your business partner, they've got solutions that have adapted to this they're keeping up to date. Yeah, it's going to keep people who are at the top. They're going to be the ones that survive, and they're the ones that are going to have complete market dominance because they're the ones that stuck at it, and they're going to have the know-how. And all these wannabes, they're all going to go. Yeah, and it's the case. It's the case with a lot of things, I had a client that was sending out emails from their main domain with GMAS. Now, he got his domain burned, safe to say. He couldn't send any emails out. And when I told him, mate, you need to have separate domains, basic cold email stuff. Yeah. Like, really? You need separate domains? Yeah, you need separate domains. You need an infrastructure for cold email, not your main domain, because that's how your main domain is now ending in spam. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, but yeah, like I say, things change from month to month now. It's the changes are happening quicker, and what it will do, like I say, it's going to eliminate a lot of these people. A lot of them are going to they're going to find something else. Yeah. They're going to go on to the next thing,
and the next shiny thing that they're finding. Yeah. What is good? I think I'm absolutely with you here, because I also believe that it's just like also like, how much cold emails do you get that are really good?
Crickets.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like also me, like if I get once, even with Cialdini, I get a lot of cold emails. You know what I mean? Because basically I'm Cialdini, so I get obviously a lot through that. And I tell you, there's maybe once every 6 months there's a good one, if even, right? Like one good one I think I can remember in the last 6 months. That's it. And I get for Cialdini, I get for sure, approximately between 10 and 20 a day.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to, there are levels to the game. There are levels, like not all apples are apples, right? You got Pink Lady, you got Granny Smith, you got fucking Gala, you got all these different types. Yeah. Some are better than others. And it's the same thing when it comes to cold email. A lot of people go, oh, cold email don't work. Well, it doesn't work for you. You can't you can't make it work. There's a difference. But again, like I have in my cold email main inbox, I get people pitching me cold email. Yeah. Are they really serious? Are they serious?
That's a good question. Yeah,
exactly. You're trying to offer me something that I'm selling. Are they really looking into who they're selling? Are they just spamming everybody? And that's the thing. It's gonna, and that's why these measures are being put into place. That's why they make the providers are making it more difficult, because these clowns, they're sending out a load of crap, not relevant stuff to not the right people, and eventually, you're going to end up in spam, and then it's going to wipe them out, and then they're going to be and for the people that survive, that's where we're just going to be picking up the good stuff.
Yeah, I believe the same. I think it's going to be a massive wave now, where like really like a lot of people will will leave the space. Like really, there will be a lot of less people, hopefully, because I think it just grows so quickly and so fast that there must come some kind of poof that it's just like really taking all the crap out again that is out there, because it's so easy to set it up, right? That it becomes so easy today. Like
Yeah.
it's not any more difficult. Like before, at least when I started, right? You had to set up your domains by yourself and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, and it was really, I remember the first time when I set up domains, bro, I did it over like, I had like 10 domains, 20 boxes. It took me like 4 days.
Oh, mate.
And it was crazy. I had like some
Yeah.
instructions from my coach at this time. And like, well, I found it somewhere online. I think I don't know exactly where it was. It was some instantly thing that they gave you the instructions how to do it. And I remember then I had to always use my phone. And then you know that Google says then no, the number is off to use too often. This doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh,
And then like
fuck that,
you ask
mate.
your wife, and then after I asked the mother of my wife, and then I asked my brother, like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
like you get multiple phones, you know.
Yeah, exactly,
Get
right?
multiple phones for the verification. Nah, it's crazy. Yeah, and I think this is the beginning of the wiping, the purging.
Yeah.
We're seeing a purging right now, and
Mhm.
if you're part of the AV crowd, you're going to be in, you know, you're in good hands, because that's where all the innovations are coming from.
Absolutely. I do
That's where
believe.
all the everyone's sharing the, you know, the best ways to stay ahead and afloat. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, there's 100 people, and from 100 people, there's like 25, 30, maybe even 40 killers. You know what I mean? So if there's anything new on the market, we know it.
yeah, absolutely. It's there straight away. It's in
Like,
the
we know
channel.
it.
It's in the meetings. You know,
Yeah.
and like I had a friend that I used to work with, and he does web development and I can't remember what else, SEO, I think.
Mhm.
And he wanted me to do his cold email
Mhm.
on a commission basis, which is, well, okay, fine. I'm relying on him to close the deal.
Mhm.
Um, and and I said, listen, mate, it's not a good idea. He ended
Mhm.
up setting up his whole infrastructure himself, which is fine.
Mhm.
And he was what was he sending out 100 emails a day? Now he's sending out 100 emails per inbox. It's like, dude, dude. I said, mate, you're gonna burn those out. Oh, really? I'm gonna burn those. Yeah, you'll see, mate. You should drop that, drop that right now. Drop that
Yeah.
right now, or you'll end up in spam and you won't be able to use them, and you'll thank me later. But again, like you say, it doesn't take you that much to set it up.
Nah.
But that's not where the source is. The source is the market research. The source is writing the copy. The source is the strategy. That's what you're actually really getting. That's what you're
Mhm.
paying for, really, at the end of the day, and the management of it all. Because
Mhm.
any clown can set it up on YouTube if they wanted to. Any monkey can do it, you know.
Exactly. And just spam
It's not hard.
people. And that's
But that's not
the
what.
biggest problem. And then they start like, I mean, obviously, yeah, everybody has to start. I mean, I understand that. But
Yeah.
if you're like just that bad, then it's better to get help from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I also like yesterday I got an email where I just wrote back. I don't know if you've seen it, right? Where I put it in. It was like I said, like
Yeah.
maybe looks like you need someone that teaches you call you, my friend. And then he even answered, he said, yes, please. I'm like, go check out Levi Arola on YouTube, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
probably the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what it is. But yeah, like, I mean, one question I have, Christian, though, because you said you are normally and you're originally like a copywriter, direct response copywriter. Like, how tricky has it been for you to change your normal style to cold email?
Um, it was quite difficult at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But there is because direct response, you don't want to be sending direct response emails to
Of
cold
course.
email people,
Yeah,
because
exactly. It's completely
they
different.
could sniff that from a
Yeah.
mile off, and it's not very authentic at all.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing that I did pick up when I was doing my email list management, so I had to go from direct response to email list management, which is more conversational based,
Mm-hmm.
and that actually helped. That
Mm-hmm.
helped because each email is seen as a conversation, as opposed to it being, you know, trying to pitch something or
Mm-hmm.
trying to get an outcome out of somebody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So going into email list management made going into cold email easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was able to have that. but you'd have to be very concise with cold email. You don't have the explanation time that you do in like list management, where you're able to spend the time to expand on a story, or you're able to expand on, but you have to get your point across very, very shortly. You have to pique interest very, very, very quickly. That's not easy. That's not easy. It's difficult. But if you've got the expertise and you've got the experience and you've done enough testing, you can get there, kind of thing. I've been in the case where I've launched campaigns that have just bombed. I've launched campaigns with clients that haven't worked, and I've gone back to the drawing board and said, okay, what's the problem? Okay, well, it's too long. It's too long. Let's cut this out. Let's make this shorter. I can say this in a different way. And from the same lead list, I was able to book meetings when I wasn't able to do it before. So again, it goes back to, not necessarily the infrastructure. The infrastructure is very important, but you can set it up pretty easily. But what is the money is really in the actual, is the writing, it's the market research, it's knowing who you're writing to and what you're offering, kind of thing, having something of value. So yeah, man, going from that, and it's funny because I had a client where I did cold email and I reached out to them, and I wasn't booking the meetings. I was just reaching out to them. Their salesperson will pick up the interested leads on the back end. And I can remember I wrote this, I started this campaign. The client, the prospect came back saying, because I saw the interaction, something like, yeah, I'm interested. Can we book in some time together, or something like that, something along those lines. And to which the guy that was running the reply sent the most direct response, copy and paste email I've ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, but we're not doing that anymore. We're doing this offer, this program with, the tick checkbox. Get this. Oh, tick checkbox, you get this, tick checkbox. And then the guy replied, unsubscribe. And I was like, and that's the difference. You see, you can't be doing that kind of thing to cold prospects. They can smell it a while off. They think they're in a list. One of the best campaigns that's worked for me is being straight up and asking for market research. Like I got, I landed clients from a small list where I said, hey, it was like 2 sentences in my email. I can't remember what it is specifically, but hey, I'm doing market research into X companies. Can I give you some free leads for 15 minutes of your time? Something like that.
Yeah.
And like the clients that I got from that, they said to me, well, normally I don't respond to cold emails, but I responded to yours because there was a human aspect behind it. So we're moving away from this whole automated feel to, we want to know who's actually writing these emails, because we get all these, we get so many emails every day from every pitching stuff that may not be relevant to us. And we just want to hear, please respect us. Please respect us. Do the time and look into our company, or offer us something that genuinely would benefit us. Like I say, if I'm a cold email guy and you're sending me emails about cold email, it's like you're not paid attention to what I'm doing, kind of thing. And I think we owe it onto ourselves to take that little bit extra time to actually go through lead list, or actually use tools to find out who we're reaching out to specifically, as opposed to just sending mass emails out to everybody, which anybody could do.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And this is, and what you said as well, I do believe, especially in the time now of AI taking over completely, it will become very interesting again, like to really maybe even do the style like Alex Berman did in the old times, like basically really going up there, really looking up their LinkedIn profile, finding something specially. That's like this the same thing that I say to one of the guys that I worked with in one of my mindset calls. And I said, look, if you really like if you want to have a dream company, like let's say this is the dream companies that you want to work with, what I would do is really go there and do it fully naturally. So basically go on the LinkedIn profile, connect, just be human, connect with them, like their posts, you know what I mean? Comment on their posts, stuff like this, and then send like a really relevant email that maybe even to a post that you have seen and you commented on or whatever, you know what I mean? and then pitch what you really want from them.
Yeah.
Like if it's really somebody that is a dream client for you, then I think this is the effort that you should do. You know what I mean? And then you become human again. And I believe if you, for example, if I would get an email from somebody that says, you know what, I don't know, like for example, somebody that is a copywriter or whatever, and he says to me, you know what, I would love to work with Cialdini, for example, and like I have this dream and blah blah blah, and he comes with something really relevant, then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take a call. You know what I mean? Because it's just like if somebody really pulls out their heart and they're like genuine human, and they really like that's why, for example, if you look at the Dream 100 thing, right? The Dream 100 thing came up by the Ultimate Sales Machine. I don't know, guys, if you didn't read that book, that's an amazing book. I don't remember the author now, but it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And it got copied by the biggest in the space. So if you look at the three biggest, for me, the three biggest marketers right now living, then it's Russell Brunson, Sabri Subi, and Alex Hormozi. These three, right? And they all copied the Dream 100 to the peak. Everybody. It's interesting, really, right? And what the Dream 100 means is really find out who are your favorite Dream 100 clients that you want to work with, and then just be human with them. Like really, like I said, connect with them on LinkedIn. They sent them gifts, but like Russell Brunson, for example, when he had this card that you open and there was like a video card, right? That he sent to people like crazy shit like this, and really be special, be different. And this is what it's all about, I believe, in today's world. Just, I mean, like be different and be special. Then you can again really make big things happen. Because if you just do what everybody else is doing, you get what everybody else is doing.
No, I completely agree. And there was I went to this is a while back, like it was a marketing conference, and there was a company there. They did direct mail, but they didn't direct mail letters. What they did is they direct mail random objects. They sent them like one of them was a shoe. They'd send them a shoe. Hey, I got the foot in the door. One of them.
I love it.
Right? It was only one shoe, right? I don't know if they researched the size of the foot of the person they were sending it to, so they could send the other pair. But another one was they had a jar and they filled it with sweets, and they sent it, and they put on a label on it saying you can get the key for the jar because it's padlocked. This jar, you get a key to the jar if you have a quick conversation with me, have a chat with me, and here's my number. Right. So what this jar did, there was this jar, and then what they do is it would be on the desk of the secretary or the receptionist, and everyone's walking by it, seeing these sweets and whatever's inside it, going, "Can you just call this guy? Can you just call this number? Because we want to get our hand in sweets," kind of thing. So it's for your Dream 100. That's that extra effort.
Yeah, exactly.
You're reaching out to these people, and that becomes back to the old. As much as we want to use and leverage technology as much as we can, these traditional methods, they're really good. Yeah, they're very good at getting the foot in the door, and getting people interested in spiking their curiosity and getting them on the phone, kind of thing. But that's when you've got, like you say, your Dream 100 is more of a high stakes game. You don't necessarily want to. These are people that you really, really want to work with. The leverage is kind of different here as opposed to most companies that you're going to be reaching out to, kind of thing. Like you say, if you're working with big names, that adds extra oomph to your campaign going forward. So that extra effort is exponentially, has an exponential value going forward. When you're doing stuff, you can name drop fucking I know Alex Hormozi or Sabri Subi in your campaigns. Everyone knows who they are. Like you're gonna get that's just extra power and credibility to you, isn't it? So making that effort makes complete sense.
I mean, one of my clients is advertise.io, and they do Instagram shout outs, but for all the fucking big ones. Like they work with Russell Bronson, they work with Cardone Ventures, they work with Robert Kiyosaki, they work with fucking everybody like that, from the bigger ones, they work with all of them, right? And when you send an email out like this, obviously, like, by the way, we also like just as an PS line, by the way, we also do this for people like Russell Bronson and Alex Samosi, for example. Bro, like what the fuck, right? I mean, it's this massive step to step up. So like obviously it makes a lot of sense. I was in the Cialdini conference in May by 40 Years Influence, and there was a guy that's called Tommy Scharf. You can look him up. And he does this with the presence in a way that is absolutely mental, right? This is really cool. Like he has this amazing, crazy presence that he sends to people, and that's how he builds up his relationships. And he's very, very successful in what he's doing. It's like just be different, and like I think that's a really interesting thing, man. Like honestly, like if you can come back to this, if you look at all the big ones, that's what they do. They are just different, like really different. Like yesterday, I saw something really cool from Sabri Subi. It's just something that he sent me, like from all the stuff that basically I follow him since ages, and I never booked an appointment with him. So he comes out with crazy shit, and like. He has something that he calls it the triangle or something like this. I'm not 100% sure anymore. But basically what he says is like that because people get all the time pitched, all right? He said it makes a lot of sense to basically change the approach and first of all give like free gifts before you ever pitch them. Like for example, what he said is like, let's say, for example, I had in my mind, for example, what we could do for Cialdini is like, well, let's say we have like a sales trainer, and then we say, okay, you know what, blah blah blah, just like a nice email where you have something relevant, whatever, and then you just in the pitch you say like, can I send you Dr. Cialdini's free best tips for sales trainer? Why they should say no to something like that, and you start the conversation and you open the loop, right? And then as a next thing, you can say, hey, I hope you like the tips, blah, blah, blah. And then you basically send them the next step and you say like, hey, this is a short training that we put together, especially for sales trainer. They also go through that, bro, right? And then after this, you can invite them to a webinar, for example. I do believe this is the new way of doing marketing again, because it's different and it gives them, first of all, value before you ask for anything.
Yeah. He calls it the high value content offer.
Yeah.
HVCO.
All right, yeah.
Essentially, it's kind of like a lead magnet. There's many terms for it.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. Right?
Yeah.
Essentially, you're giving something out for free, and using the law of reciprocity.
Yeah.
Okay, you've given me something, so therefore I'm going to give you something back, kind of thing. It's just an idea. But more than that, what you're doing is you're giving them the chance to taste what it's like to be working with you. You get
exactly.
You give them a sample in a way, like you get the cookie sample or a chocolate sample or shampoo sample, right? Here's a free thing. Maybe you'll use it, maybe not.
Yeah.
But also with that, so you're getting the chance to give them a free, and I think this is very valuable, very, very, very valuable. And it's not just about creating some random PDF. It's having something of genuine value, because like I've been through the Sabri Subi program, the quantum growth program.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool, interesting. Okay.
And he talks in that program about giving something that they genuinely want, like not just some random thing, if it's how to write a cold email, like some templates or something like that, something that is genuinely valuable, would genuinely help them. If you're helping businesses get set up abroad, okay, well, what are the first steps and where do you go to, kind of thing, but not everything. It's the first part of the solution. Yeah. And then what that does is it obviously opens the loop. It opens the conversation. Okay, I've given you something. Yeah. Just hear out what I've got to say. And then, funny enough, Sabri Subi's email marketing I really love it. Yeah. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really good. Yeah. And, it keeps you in the ecosystem. You never forget who he is, right? Yeah. You get to understand and you get to hear his.
And he's everywhere. He's on Facebook. He's on your mailbox. He's just like
he's everywhere. Right? You cannot escape it. He's omnipresent. Like anywhere with a screen, you're seeing his face, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
whatever.
yes, true.
And
But you enjoy everything that he does. Every fucking piece is interesting. That's the next thing. It's
yeah,
never fucking annoying you. Never. Like everything that you do, like wow, wow, wow. Right? It's just what it is.
he has an interesting personality, right?
Yeah.
He backs it up with his, it's just, well, he's genuinely himself. He's
Yeah.
not hiding behind a corporate veil.
Yeah.
He's swears. He's also a family man.
Yeah.
He's pretty direct.
Yeah.
And I think people, and again, it goes back to the authenticity of the person behind that. Everything that you get, and we're using Sabri Subi as an example, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's because he's like a goat in this area, right?
Yeah.
But everything that you get from him is exactly as he would be in real life.
Yeah.
It is
Sure.
so genuine. He's building up so much rapport that by the time he asks for something or he pitches you something, you're like, yeah, mate, all right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, right? When you think about it, that's all it is. It's trust and rapport. That's what we're doing. And cold email is so difficult now because you have to build so much trust in an area where there's so little trust.
Exactly.
And you've got to do it in one email in seconds.
Yeah.
And you've got to have something that obviously that person wants.
Yeah.
But it's all trust at the end of the day. How many times is your friend going to say to you, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And you just go, yeah, because you trust them.
Yeah.
Or let's go here, or let's eat at this place, or here's this thing, take it.
Yeah.
And you don't think twice about it because you trust them, right? But when it's a random stranger that you've never seen, you've never heard of, who are they really?
Yeah.
And then there's that extra barrier there, and that is essentially what we're breaking down with. The first step is cold email, or some kind of outreach, whether it is cold email, whether it is something else. In the B2B space, it's cold email or LinkedIn, or whatever. But at the end of the day, the game is trust. How do you be authentic, build rapport, and build trust so that by the time you may have something to offer them, they are willing to say, yeah, okay, this makes sense for me. You have my best interests at heart. I trust you with my money or whatever, or my funds or whatever, my projects or my information, or therefore go ahead and build me a project. I trust that you're capable of doing it.
Fire, man. I love it, man. I could talk with you for ages, but I need to watch football now.
Oh, really? Who's playing?
It's Bayern Stuttgart, bro, like a massive game in the Bundesliga. But bro, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for jumping on. Just maybe one last thing. Like if you could give like one good advice to the people watching, what would this be?
So what could I say? I would say that mainly be genuine. I think that it's so vague. I think it's a very vague what I'm saying, but it's very true. Actually, when you look at across all marketing channels, that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it ties back to what we were just talking to. Like for people watching this, they've obviously, if they're doing cold email, if they're doing, marketing or whatever, you can only do good marketing for companies. Actually, you can do a lot of good. You have the power to do a lot of good and a lot of evil, right? If you are working with a company that is selling something that's not great, you can reposition that to make it sound really good. And that is dangerous. That's dangerous. But if you're doing something, if you really genuinely believe that you've got a fantastic offer and you're working with people who are, who can add tremendous value to another company or to people around you, or their audience, then it is your duty to sell that. It is your duty to get that message out there, but in the most genuine way possible. And the best way you can do it is by being the most authentic. That's why cold emails are not scripted. They sound like you're saying them. They sound like you speak. They sound like they roll off the tongue because it's genuine. It may be vague, but I think that's the best thing that I can offer, the people listening in on this call.
I fucking love it, man. I think that's an amazing closing word. Okay, man, thank you very much one more time for hopping on with me. That was a really amazing conversation. You know that my podcasts normally go like 15, 20 minutes. I think we spoke for an hour, but I really enjoyed that, man. And it went in a completely different direction, but that's what it's about, right? I really love it, man. It was so great to have you on, man. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And for everyone listening, just, keep at it, keep working, be genuine. Yeah, you'll get there. So
keep on ramming. Boom.
Keep on ramming.